Hello, Richard Mortimer, and in this video I'd like to talk about how to free up more time. For most of us, our time is our most precious resource. When it comes to the two things that we think about in business, time and money, you can always get more, is always more available, but time comes and goes and that's it, you can't get it back. So it really is important. So it's really key to think a little bit about how you can make the most of the time that you have. So what we really want to do is to create what I call a leveraged virtual program. I'll explain exactly what that is and the steps to do that. Okay, so the first step is to think of an area where you could actually create a leveraged virtual program. So obviously it's got to be an online program, and I'll explain exactly how we set that all up and lay it out. But the first thing is to find an area where you could actually create that program. So let's take a few examples. Let's just say, for example, you had something very offline, which is usually the most challenging. So say something like a gym or something like that. Then with a gym, you have various programs, various techniques for helping people with their fitness. And what you want to do is take one of those areas. So you have to kind of virtualize it. So you have to be a bit creative perhaps to get this program. But the idea will be that you will create something that will not be as costly as, say, coaching. If you were to have a coach and it was one-on-one, like I've had fitness coaching one-on-one. And so you'd have something that wouldn't cost that kind of level because it's a virtual program. So, but you want to have an area where you could teach something online. So what you want to do is to think of something where people can get a really, really good result with an online program. So they can be sitting at home. Now, obviously they might have to put it into action themselves, but you can teach them via their computer and they can get a really good result. Think of something like that. So you might want to choose one from your existing business, or you might want to find one. Do a bit of research and you find an area. So it could be something associated with your current business, or it could be something totally new, of course. And what you want to do is make that very targeted. So you want to think of something that is specific, that perhaps nobody's done before. Obviously, you need to have a lot of people in that particular area. But think of it like this. Think of it as one problem, one solution. So maybe write a list. Make a list of all the areas that you could possibly make a virtual program. And what you're looking to do is to have people that have one particular problem and you solve that problem in that virtual program. So it wants to be as targeted as possible, but it wants to also, on the other side, have as many people chasing that problem as possible, or chasing that solution rather. But also, they want to be high net worth people. The reason for that is because if the money's there, then that has a corresponding saving of time. There's like a relationship between time. So obviously you can make a higher price program and then that will actually save you time, if that makes sense. The thing is, you can obviously target people who aren't so high net worth, but then it can often be a labour of love and you won't be able to charge so much. And so that will be time absorbing. So because we're specifically looking to free off time, we want to target high net worth people. So when you're looking at niches, think of, for example, golf. People spend money in golf. They're buying clubs. Being a member of a golf club is very expensive, all that kind of thing. That, it's those kind of people that you want to be targeting. People that do have a problem that you can solve, but they are high net worth. So you're going after a particular targeted market of high net worth people who have one problem that you're going to solve. And then obviously there are steps to solving that problem. You teach that in a core program. So that's the main thing. So all your clients get that same teaching because that's the niche that you're teaching in and you're solving the problem for. So you can just create a virtual program, usually videos like this one, for example. It can be done other ways, but video is the normal one. Put those in a members area, and that's the core program. Now that does change over time as you get to know people and you get some feedback. It can change, but you can create a core program, just lay out the steps that those people need to go through to get the result that you teach. However, you also need a coaching aspect to it, because actually you want to be able to charge, a good amount, and by having access to you, that makes it more valuable. And of course that has a corresponding effect on saving time as well, because you don't need so many clients to get the income that you want. So what you do with the coaching aspect, the core program is the main teaching, but then what you do is, for example, you would run a weekly Q&A session. You could do a bit of teaching, but also mainly you get questions from people and answer them. Now people say, oh, I couldn't do that because maybe they could ask a question that I can't answer. It doesn't really matter, because if it's really a difficult question like that, you can say, look, I don't know the answers to that. I need to think about it a bit. I'll come back next week, or even email them prior to the next week's call. It doesn't have to be weekly. It could be bi-weekly. It could be twice a week, depending on who your clients are, where they are in the world, all that kind of thing. Totally up to you how you run that. But you want to have really focused Q&A sessions where the people who are in the program only are allowed into that Q&A session. And also you want to have assignments attached to the core program so that they've got an incentive to get on the call with you and, be held accountable, keep them on track, all that kind of thing. So they get access to a real live person who can help them. And that obviously is the bit where everyone is a little bit different. So that's why you have that there, and it gives it more valuable. So that makes your program more valuable. Okay, and what you could do is you can actually record those sessions and put them in a members area, and that actually means that if somebody for some reason can't get on the call, then they can ask a question, say by email, and then you can answer it on the call, and they still get the answer to their question. So they've got the core teaching, they've got the assignments, and they've got the coaching. That's a very high valuable program there. But the great thing is you're able to enroll a multitude of people, which is what frees up the time. And then the fifth step is to find where your tribe are hanging out and to create a lead generation system that will fill your program with clients. Obviously, the first step would be to get them onto an email list so you can actually keep engaged with them, get them to know, like, and trust you, and then they're more likely to enroll. But that's all to do with marketing. And obviously, there's various traffic methods and various ways of doing it, which is beyond the scope of this video. But there's lots of ways to do that, and they're all proven, tried and tested. You just got to find the one that works for you and that suits you. But basically, you want to go out and find the people and get them to your site, get them to enroll. First, you make them subscribers, then maybe you might sell them something. Finally, you enroll them in your program. Normally, I would start off by charging, say, something like $300 a month for a program. It depends on the niche, obviously. Depends on your confidence level, that kind of thing. You don't want to charge too much below that, because otherwise people haven't got enough skin in the game and they tend to, drop out, not do the work and that kind of thing. Whereas that kind of level, people are really committed. And obviously, you'd only have to sell 1/3 of the people to get the same. If you were to say $100, it's better to do 300 and have 1/3 of the people than the other way around. And it also qualifies people by having a reasonable price. So do bear that in mind, please. So how does this free up more time? Well, once the core program is created, which is basically the main part of the work, you just run your system on a day-to-day basis, week by week. Once dialed in, you can outsource your lead generation, so you haven't got to do that. It's just running the Q&A coaching call each week. You free up time by being able to help a lot more people get a result in less time and effort for you. Does that make sense? So because it's a virtual program, because it's a group coaching program where you're not actually doing one-on-one with people, they're in a group, it means that you can have a multitude of people. You can have any number you want. And they get the same core program, which gets the result, so it's high value, and you do actually coach them because you meet with them on the Q&A call. So you're able to help more people at a lower level than, say, one-to-one. Obviously, one-to-one's a lot higher. You charge a lot more for that. So also, it's a lot less effort for you. Like with a one-on-one client, you have to, that's it. They've got all your time. And there's a limit to the number of people you can enroll just through the time criteria. With this, you don't, because it can be 1, 2, 3 hours a week. And that's it. That's how you run the program and enroll a multitude of people. Absolutely brilliant. So just imagine you were coaching people one-on-one and charging $100 an hour. You'd be maxed out at 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 50 weeks of the year. That would be a lot to coach that often. 250 days of 8 hours is 2,000 hours. So 2,000 hours at $100 each, that's a maximum income of 200,000. And that's it. You can't do any more without employing people. So when you create a leverage program like this to reduce your workload and help more people, you could charge, as I say, $300 a month. So that's a lot less for the client. 10 clients would be $3,000 a month or $36,000 a year. So 30 clients would be $100,000 a year. 60 clients, you've replaced your income of $200 a year. And that's it. That's all you need. So apart from your lead generation, which you can outsource, you are only doing that one Q&A session each week or whatever you decided to do. And then you can keep adding monthly clients and it takes you no more time to run your program. Plus, you can now charge a lot more for your one-on-one coaching. So it's a win-win for everybody. So that's the steps to freeing up more time. Think of an area where you can create a leverage virtual program. Do so in an area where there's high net worth people. Create a core program. Coach those people in a Q&A once a week, say using something like Zoom, and then just find where those people are hanging out, create a system to enroll them in that program, and boom, off you go. So if you'd like to know more about this and have me help you actually choose a niche of operation for you, then please apply to get on a call with me. Simply click that button below and fill out the application. So what we'll do is we'll go through this with you, find a niche of operation so that you can plan out a leveraged virtual program of your own. All you've got to do is just fill out the application, just a few simple questions, get on a call with me in the next few days. I look forward to that very much. Thank you. Bye for now.